Calling case number 2401173 SM. This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Len Derek Tyler Stringer. Mr. Angot, do you wish to place an appearance on the record?
Judge John Angot, I'm here as appointed counsel for Mr. Stringer regarding this arraignment. However, Mr. Stringer does not acknowledge or consent to this hearing. Is that correct, Mr. Stringer?
I do not identify. I identify as the beneficiary that is here to protect Derek Stringer.
Very well, Mr. Stringer. The court is going to read the charge into the record since the formal reading is not waived. Mr. Stringer, it is charged by the people of the state of Michigan that in this city of Royal Oak, county of Oakland, and state of Michigan, on or about June 16th of 2024, you did knowingly make an open or indecent exposure of your person while fondling your genitals in a public area, contrary to the statute so made and provided at Michigan Compile Law 750.335A, subparent 2, subparent B. The court advises you that this is referred to as a Tier 1 offense under the Sex Offender Registry Act. If the victim is a minor, it is a Tier 2 offense. If you have a prior conviction for a Tier 1 offense, it is a Tier 3 offense. If you have a prior conviction for a Tier 2 offense. This is a high misdemeanor, punishable by up to 2 years in the state prison and up to $2,000. Also, a mandatory collection of DNA identifying profiling samples. There is a count 2 misdemeanor in that on the same date, you did knowingly make an open or indecent exposure of your person contrary to the statute so made and provided at Michigan Compile Law 750.335A, subparent 2, subparent A, commonly known as indecent exposure. At this time, the court enters not guilty pleas on both of these matters so that Mr. Stringer's presumption of innocence under the constitutions of Michigan and the United States are preserved.
Sir, excuse me, sir. You have not talked to my beneficiary yet. You have not talked to the person who owns the estate yet.
Yes, and that new counsel, as appointed by Mr. Mena, can make whatever judgments they wish to make and make any motions they wish to make at Mr. Stringer's first probable cause conference. Mr. Stringer, this matter is now being set for a probable cause conference. That will be on a new date. The law entitles you to what they refer to as a preliminary examination within 21 days of this arraignment today. If probable cause is either found or waived at that preliminary examination, the matter will be bound over to the Oakland County Circuit Court for further arraignment, trial, and proceedings. The court must now set bond in this manner. That's not intended to prejudge or punish you. You are presumed innocent, Mr. Stringer. However, the court must set bond in order to ensure your reappearance to court and afford any necessary protection for the public. In that regard, the court would first hear from Detective Keith Baringa of the Royal Oak Police Department. Then the court would hear from your attorney, Mr. Stringer. Detective Baringa, please proceed.
Thank you. He currently has 2 warrants out of the state of Texas for assault and also in assault with injury to family violence out of Texas. He also has a lengthy criminal history out of Texas, going from as recent of these warrants, which were entered last year, back to around 2015, receiving charges for evading arrest and detention, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, assault, family, house member impeding breath or circulation, several other assault charges, a weapons charge, and then also like falsifying information or government documents. I'm not sure if that's just like a generic false ID case or not, but multiple felons out of Texas. I'm not sure how long he's been in Michigan. He has no current cases out of Michigan that I'm aware of. His criminal history, he has assault from 2019 out of Parkwood Woods, which looks like it was deferred up as
All right, folks, buckle up because this one's as bizarre as it gets. Today's defendant, Len Derek Tyler Stringer, isn't just accused of indecent exposure. He's also a proud sovereign citizen, the kind of person who thinks legal words are like magic spells that can make a judge disappear. But wait, there's more. Stringer apparently decided to express himself a little too freely in public, and now he's trying to argue that the beneficiary of the estate, not he himself, is the real party in court. Yeah, try explaining that to the jury. What follows is a crash course in courtroom delusion, with a judge trying to keep order, a defense attorney who probably wants hazard pay, and a defendant who refuses to identify as the person who allegedly fondled himself in public. It's weird, it's wild, and it's the perfect reminder that YouTube law degrees don't hold up very well under oath. Stick around. This one unravels.
Assaulting a public officer for obstructing, where he got served 9 days ago. And that is it out of the video.
Anything further?
So I would also ask that he not be allowed to return to any public or private pools in the city of Royal Oak or parks, grass areas adjacent to it. Or have that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Angot.
Judge, as noted by the court, the presumption of innocence is absolute at this point. And so we must start from there. Mr. Stringer, or the person purporting to represent Mr. Stringer, is a business owner. Judge, despite the fact of these charges and what was listed by the detective, I believe that with the GPS tether, that certainly would give this court, pretrial services, and any other entity overseeing Mr. Stringer during the pendency of this matter, notice of where he would be within 3 feet, is my understanding, with that tether. I don't think a cash bond is necessary. I would ask the court to give him a personal bond with the GPS.
Begins the Sovereign Citizen Starter Pack. Notice how Stringer refuses to acknowledge or consent to the hearing. That's Sovereign 101. These folks believe that by simply denying jurisdiction, they can sidestep legal consequences, as if the court will just shrug and say, oh, never mind then. But spoiler, that's not how this works. That what's really going on here is a tactic called denial of personhood, where the defendant tries to separate himself from the legal identity on paper. The problem? The judge, in reality, don't care. He can call himself a beneficiary all day, but the beneficiary is still the guy accused of public self-entertainment at a...
Mr. Stringer, you will not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. Please don't commit any crimes while you're on release status. You will notify the court in writing of any change of address, telephone, or email. Mr. Stringer will be making reports to pretrial services, and they will supervise his release. There will be no use of alcohol, marijuana, or any other controlled substance without a valid prescription from a treating physician, and Mr. Stringer will abide a substance abuse testing and monitoring program. No purchase or possession of a firearm or other deadly weapon. Mr. Stringer shall not harass, intimidate, beat, wound, or threaten Linda Marino and Chad Stransky, nor will he cause, through himself or through any third party, to have direct or indirect contact with said individuals. Mr. Stringer will not enter the cities of Royal Oak or Berkeley except for court, work, or medical treatment. And at this time, there will be 2 ETGs per week for control alcohol consumption and 3 controlled substance tests a month. Given everything that's before the court at this time, the court will set bond in the amount of $50,000, cash or surety, no 10% allowed at this time. If Mr. Stringer wishes to bring various motions before the examining judge, and that could include a motion to modify his bond, that is his right and his privilege, but at this time, that is the bond as set by this court. Mr. Stringer, that concludes your arraignment, sir.
Sir, so I can't get out on a personal bond?
That's correct, Mr. Stringer. You cannot get out on a personal bond. 50,000 cash or surety with the appropriate conditions that were already listed by the court. That completes your arraignment, sir.
Sir, so what is going on with what is going on? Right?
I'm sorry, sir?
I'm being charged. I'm being charged with entity that is...
Can you please move up so the court could hear you?
I said, how do you charge a dead entity, sir?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How do you charge a dead entity, sir? And you
Listen closely to how calmly the judge reads this out. 2 counts, indecent exposure, 1 enhanced for fondling himself in public. You can tell this isn't the judge's first rodeo with bizarre cases. But when he gets to mandatory DNA profiling, you can practically hear Stringer's sovereign gears grinding. These guys usually lose it when the court mentions state authority over their property, which, in their minds, includes their DNA. It's moments like this that separate real law from Facebook law. Judges don't argue. They proceed. And while Stringer's busy invoking imaginary beneficiaries, the system is already setting up his...
All right, Mr. Stringer, state your name.
I don't acknowledge myself as Lynn Stringer. I'm a living entity.
Okay, is there another name that you go by, sir?
Living entity, I'm the beneficiary, so I go as a job. And I want to fire that counsel. I don't want him.
All right, so there's a number of things to unpack here. All right, so let's walk through this. I have an individual before me that is listed as an Oakland County Jail inmate by the name of Len Stringer. I have a case that's been assigned to this court that where the defendant's name is Len Stringer. Mr. Sanuko, are you assigned on this case?
I am, Judge.
Okay, and you were assigned to the Stringer case, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, so that's enough for me to conduct this hearing today. Now let's walk through this. Miss Mount Lewis, have you provided discovery to Mr. Sanuko?
Your Honor, I didn't have an attorney listed. I believe if he filed, he may have just received written discovery. I didn't have that in my information, but give me 1 second to confirm. I'm just going to make one click.
In the meantime,
I do have written discovery, Judge.
So yeah, it sees that he was provided with written discovery on June 26th.
okay, so Mr. Sanuko, have you had a chance to talk to the defendant at all?
I did, Judge. I met with him.
There it is, the first outburst. You have not talked to my beneficiary. Every sovereign citizen video hits this same note. A man confusing gibberish for legal genius. What's especially ironic here is that he's arguing about ownership of his estate while sitting in jail orange, under state custody, charged with indecent exposure. Spoiler alert, the estate isn't looking great. This is where you can really feel the frustration of courtroom staff. The judge stays professional, but the patience it takes to deal with defendants like this deserves an award. And let's be real, even a narrator can't resist roasting.
Given your experience and then your connection with him as well as a family member, plus the way the defendant has presented today, that a competency review is in order. And so I'm happy to move forward with that. So Mr. Stringer, there is, just so you understand, there has been some preliminary information that suggests that you may not be competent to proceed at this particular time. Whether that's a correct assertion is basically a decision that can only be made after an investigation is done to determine whether or not you can, that you understand the nature of the proceedings, that you can assist your attorney. We need to find those things out. And so, Ms. Mount Lewis, can you prepare an order for competency review?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I agree. I think that that's appropriate at this time.
Detective Binga just dropped the bombshell. 2 outstanding warrants from Texas. One for assault causing injury and another for family violence. Add to that a rap sheet going back years, with weapons charges, assaulting officers, and falsifying IDs. This isn't some harmless eccentric. This is a seasoned offender playing pretend lawyer. Now here's the pattern. Sovereign citizens often pick up the ideology after a lifetime of run-ins with the law. It's a coping mechanism. When the system keeps catching up, they start claiming it doesn't exist. But this detective just dismantled his jurisdiction fantasy with cold, hard reality. The man is wanted, dangerous, and not new to this game.